Hello, this is Spacedraptor for Spacedraptor Gaming, and today what we're actually doing is we're taking the PC that I showed you in the last video. It's basically the CPU is a G2120 and the graphics card that we're running is an AMD Radeon HD7770. So it's not the highest spec system in the world, but it's my system. I built it about 18 months ago, just as the new next gen of consoles was coming out, because I kind of didn't really I wanted to run new games, but I didn't want to pay some of the prices for the hardware that was coming out. I didn't think it was very cost effective for me, especially spending somewhere in the region of £40 per game as well. And I saw games on Steam, they were a lot cheaper, so I decided to go the PC route this generation. Now, I'm under no illusions here that I'm going to make it 7 years running this system. In fact, to be honest, it's probably kind of struggling to run some games as it stands, some of the newer games. Certainly some of the ones that you call next gen anyway, but you know, you're going to find games that are very well optimized in that particular list. But generally in 2014 there was a lot of badly optimized games, and this system just really struggles with them. So I kind of you know, it is what it is, and I certainly possibly 18 months later I possibly do need to do some upgrading. But before I do that, I am going to try and troubleshoot some of these games and at least present my findings to you in future episodes. Now, I thought I'd start with quite a well optimized game here, and this is actually running at ultra settings on the graphics, and the game looks absolutely beautiful on my system, and it performs really well. Now, it's not I've got frame rate lock on because I get a lot of problems with the VSync and screen tearing. So basically I've frame locked it to put the VSync on. If you're wondering what frame lock is, that is VSync. So some games call it VSync, others call it frame lock. On Bioshock Infinite, it's the frame lock. And God knows what I was doing there. I just had a mental meltdown. I just thought I'd randomly jump off something. But yeah, so this game runs on average about 45 frames per second. But really what I'm looking for is I don't get too caught up on frame rate. I don't have to have a game running at 60 frames a second. It just depends on the game, really. If I find the controls are smooth enough at 45 frames a second, I'm happy. And that's all there is to it. What I'm doing is I'm just looking at the control system and is it working for me? And yes, this game definitely runs very smoothly control wise. I'm actually using a controller here, not a mouse and keyboard. Because my preferred method of play is to use a controller, because I sit on a couch with a PC. So mouse and keyboard's certainly not the most comfortable way I can actually play this game. So yeah, I do run a controller as a preferred method. But as you can see, the graphics look fantastic, and the games look running smoothly on this system. So I'm going to go into a few more like mad little moments with this game, and I'm taking it into there on purpose. I'm dying. I'm doing whatever I can to break the game basically and just send it as mad as possible. And that is just to generally test the frames, you know what I mean? You know, would I play this game like this usually? Possibly not. I'd err with a little bit more caution. But here we're just jumping in and we're just trying to create as much chaos as I possibly can, just to get them frame rates dipping as much as I can, because that's where I'm going to find whether the game runs properly or not. So we're just about to go into the next section of the game, where yeah, there's some enemies here. So we're just going to start shooting wildly and just generally cause as much chaos as possible. And I should be finding more enemies here. There's usually... ah, there they are. Alright. And we've certainly got one of those... we've got a fireman somewhere knocking about as well. I can hear him. Definitely. We've got a turret running. We've got lots of enemies. And we're just going to run about, see if there's anything I can do to actually break the game and stop it from running. As you can see, lots of special effects happening. Anything that's going to dip my frames. I'm about to die. Yeah, and we got a death happening there. So we'll just go straight back into the game here. Loads quite quickly on this system as well. So if you're running a lower spec system, I definitely, and you think that you possibly can't play Bioshock Infinite because it's quite a beautiful game to play. I'm here to show you you actually can play it at ultra settings. And just to prove I'm not cheating in any way, shape or form, I will actually show you the settings right at the end of this video. In fact, we're getting to the point where I actually go into the options and basically show you what exactly I am running. So there's no cheating involved. It's all very, very genuine. I won't tell you I'm running something when I can't, and I certainly will if I prefer like a game where I'm having more problems, so I can actually show you what I'm doing to overcome them. So if you do have a lower spec system, it's kind of, yeah, this is what I did to fix it, basically. So here we are. I'm showing you it's running at 1080p. I've got the graphics set to custom, so I should have just run it on ultra, to be honest, all the way through, but basically I'm just showing you that it is all manually set to ultra anyway on the custom, and I've got AA turned on. Post-processing is set to normal. The reason for that is it says it's the way the game was intended to be seen, and the other is DirectX 11, which this card is compatible with DirectX 11, but it's certainly something that can hinder your frame rates. Anyway, this has been Spacedraptor for Spacedraptor Gaming. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. And just, if you've got any comments, just stick them in the comment section below. I do answer every single comment. And till next time, see you soon.